Let's talk about voiding checks and invoices. We'll be going over how to delete items in a later video, but it's important to know the difference. When you void an item, you're keeping it in existence for reference. The invoice or check number can't be used again, and it's still accounted for. It will show up in registers, however, it won't affect your balances, and it's still marked as void. Let's go in and void one. I'll click Create Invoices, and I'll hit the back button to find the last unpaid one. If I want to void this invoice, I can select Edit from the top menu and then choose Void Invoice. You'll immediately notice at the bottom that everything gets zeroed out. However, the invoice is still in existence. This invoice number won't be used again, and I can look it up at any time and see what was on it. I'll click Save and Close. It's telling me that the transaction has changed and asking me if I really want to record the changes. I'll say yes. And let's go into a check. I'll click Write Checks at the bottom of the screen. Once again, I'll hit the back button to find a particular check that I wrote. Here's one. This is a check that we paid a few videos back when we paid a bill to a vendor. I can void this check in a similar fashion, the way you would void a real check. I'll choose Edit from the top menu and choose Void Bill Payment Check. In a similar fashion, it zeroes everything out. I'll click Save and Close. And now I'll get a warning. It's telling me that this payment by check has been used to pay some bills in QuickBooks. Do I really want to change it? I'm going to say yes. There's one more thing that we have to do. We voided that check, but it was used to pay a bill. In QuickBooks, everything has to line up nicely with this workflow process. So now we have a bill hanging around that's waiting to be paid again. We have two options to handle this. I'll click Pay Bills. The bill has automatically reappeared in Pay Bills because I voided the check. It's been marked as not being paid again. This bill is still in existence and needs to be handled. I could just pay the bill again by placing a check mark next to it and clicking Pay Selected Bill at the bottom of the screen. I could also select the bill in the view and click Go to Bill. It's going to pop up the actual bill itself. I can void the bill from here. So depending on your situation, it could be handled differently. If something happened to the check itself, meaning it got lost and we couldn't find it, the bank could issue a stop payment on that check. I could void the check in QuickBooks like we did and reissue the check by paying the bill again. Or, if the situation changed and I didn't have to pay the bill anymore, I could go into the bill like I am now and void it from here. Since we have the bill up, I'll void it. So once again, I'll select Edit, Void Bill. The bill is voided and the amount due is 0. I'll click the Save and Close button. It's warning me that the transaction is linked to others. I'm sure, so I'll click Yes. Now, in the Pay Bills area, there are no bills that I need to pay, so I can safely close out of this window by clicking X. When you void a transaction, in the case of an invoice, it's as easy as simply voiding it. But when you're working with checks and bills, you have to remember that everything has to line up. So if you voided a check that was used to pay a bill, you're not quite done until you go back in and either void or delete the bill in QuickBooks. Now that everything is lined up nicely, we voided everything we have to and we're ready to move on.